Elon Musk's net worth has passed $400 billion, according to Bloomberg, making him the first person to reach the milestone.
Front and center at President Trump's inauguration, a lineup of billionaire tech titans led by the world's richest man, Elon Musk, now a top Trump advisor.
Elon Musk takes a wrecking ball to the federal government and a chainsaw to CPAC. Literally, what he told the conservative gathering about slashing the federal government, including thousands of jobs.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw!
YouTube has terminated our main channel with millions of views just for telling the truth. But you can help us regrow by just subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and commenting down below. Thank you. Musk's rapid fall from post-election high to current struggles perfectly illustrates the volatility of aligning too closely with the Catholic administration. What rises quickly on political favoritism can fall just as fast.
Reuters did an exhaustive analysis of what DOGE claims to be its results. New York Times has done something similar. They audited the random claims of so-called savings and waste that DOGE periodically throws on its bare bones website. Reuters found in its latest update this week, DOGE either modified or removed more than 1,000 entries on its list, nearly half of the spending arrangements it had listed the week before. DOGE triple counted a $655 million contract, claiming more than $1.8 billion in savings that didn't exist. DOGE claimed it saved $8 billion by canceling a contract with the Office of Diversity and Civil Rights at ICE. You can see it right there, $8 billion with a B, right? 9 zeros. If you look a little closer, you can see the number is actually, oh, right, 8 million.
The DOGE accounting errors reveal a fundamental problem with impromptu government restructuring. When ideology drives cut rather than analysis, embracing billion to million dollar miscalculations become inevitable.
Marco Rubio unloads on Elon Musk. The two men, according to the New York Times, getting into an explosive back and forth in a closed-door cabinet meeting. Musk accusing Rubio of not slashing staff at the State Department. Now, Rubio, who the Times reported, has been privately livid at Musk for weeks, calling him a liar. According to the New York Times, it was not just Rubio involved in the clash. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy also went after Musk for laying off air traffic controllers, saying, quote, "What am I supposed to do? I have multiple plane crashes to deal with now, and your people want me to fire air traffic controllers?"
Cabinet members fighting with Musk exposed the constitutional crisis happening behind closed doors. Unelected advisors with no statutory authority are battling Senate-confirmed officials over critical infrastructure decisions.
Tesla shares have been dropping for a record 7 straight weeks, causing Elon Musk to lose billions of dollars.
Tesla giving back all of its post-election gains on its worst day since 2020. It is now worth less than half of what it was at its mid-December peak.
Today, hundreds of demonstrators gathered outside more than 50 Tesla showrooms across the country protesting Elon Musk.
The demonstrators are calling on everyone to stop buying and driving Tesla cars.
A message for Musk tonight, a protest outside a Tesla showroom in San Francisco.
This was a protest today in Houston, Texas, at one of the Tesla dealerships in that big city.
These protesters are chanting right now, Elon Musk has got to go.
The nationwide Tesla protests demonstrate a key vulnerability for companies closely tied to controversial political figures. Consumers are increasingly voting with their wallets against corporate political entanglements.
He came out, he endorsed me very strongly. And I admired that and respected that, and I respected him for years. I respected him. Thank you all very much. I love Tesla.
Trump's inability to even correctly pronounce Tesla during his bailout promotion highlights the transactional nature of these relationships. These aren't ideological allies, just temporary business arrangements of convenience.
Vehicles suck.
Here's the problem with an electric car. They don't go far. They cost a fortune. So unless you want to go to the local store or something, you're not going to buy it. So you're in the middle of the desert, you say, you know, we're running low on electric. Do they have a charger around? They don't work in the cold and they don't go far. Other than that, I think they're wonderful. Let's drive down, get some potatoes from Idaho. Well, sir, that'll be about 6 stops. But they want everybody to have an electric car. We don't have enough electricity. We couldn't make enough electricity for that. What do you think of an electric car?
The irony of Trump promoting electric vehicles after campaigning against them shows the policy whiplash affecting American industries. Businesses caught in this inconsistency face impossible strategic planning scenarios.
President Trump said that he believes the biggest threat to the country are nuclear weapons and added that they are, quote, big monsters that can blow your heads off for miles and miles and miles. And in that case, I'm glad the guy in charge of them describes them like he's a sugared up 4-year-old.
YouTube has terminated our main channel with millions of views just for telling the truth. But you can help us regrow by just subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and commenting down below. Thank you. On Trump's nuclear weapons description, when the man with the nuclear codes describes them as big monsters that blow your heads off for miles, it's less commander-in-chief and more show and tell at the kindergarten. This isn't just inarticulacy, it reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of the grave responsibility he holds.
When asked by reporters yesterday aboard Air Force One about the possibility of a recession, President Trump said that his tariffs will make the U.S., quote, so rich you're not going to know where to spend all that money, unless, you're feeling like an omelet. When asked in a new interview about the recent market volatility surrounding his tariff policies, President Trump said, quote, what I have to do is build a strong economy. Cool, whenever you're ready.
On Trump's recession denial, Trump claiming his tariffs will make America so rich you won't know where to spend the money while markets tank is like a captain drilling holes in his hull while promising everyone the best cruise ever. The disconnect between his economic fantasy and reality grows wider by the day.
President Trump met yesterday with Ukrainian President Zelensky to discuss the potential, I'm kidding, you guys, he sold Teslas at the White House. I mean, look at this guy. He's like a reverse Oprah. I'm getting a car and I'm getting a car. That's right. President Trump and Elon Musk posed for photos with several Tesla vehicles yesterday at the White House. Just an incredible photo. This looks like the parking lot at a San Francisco divorce court. By the way, I count 4 things in that picture that need to be charged. President Trump viewed several Tesla vehicles yesterday at the White House. Used to be the only thing you had to plug in at the White House was Mike Pence. During a White House event yesterday, President Trump said that he was going to purchase a Tesla by writing a check and added, quote, I like signing a check. Yeah, we know. That's how you got caught. Never backfired on me once. President Trump announced on Truth Social this week that he would purchase a Tesla to support Elon Musk and called the company, quote, Elon's baby. Well, that's not true. If it was his baby, he wouldn't care about it at all.
On Trump promoting Tesla at the White House. The White House lawn has become Trump's personal QVC channel. Nothing says I'm addressing America's economic anxiety like hawking luxury electric vehicles during a market downturn. It's government by product placement.
President Trump repeated his threat to annex Canada yesterday amid increasing trade war tensions. God, America and Canada haven't been in a fight this bad since, well, I guess pretty recently, but still. Very recently.
On Trump's threatening to annex Canada. Trump's Canada annexation threats represent diplomacy by tantrum. He makes outrageous demands, gets pushback, then he pretends retreat was his plan all along. This is a negotiation. It's international relations conducted with all the sophistications of a playground bully.
A recent stock market sell-offs during a briefing yesterday, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said, quote, we are in a period of economic transition, which is like saying the Titanic was going through a change in buoyancy.
On Caroline Leavitt calling market sell-offs economic transition. Calling market crashes an economic transition is like describing a 5-alarm fire as terminal reorganization. This administration has mastered the art of rebranding catastrophe as strategy, while Americans watch their retirement accounts evaporate.
Hey, President Trump threatened to impose a 200% tariff on all wines and champagne from France, and France is livid. You don't have to say champagne from France, you imbecile.
On market volatility from tariffs. The markets are giving Trump's economic policies a real-time report card, and the grades aren't good. His erratic tariff announcements create uncertainty that investors flee from, exactly the opposite of what a stable economy needs.
President Zambonehead posted about our friends up north. They will pay a financial price for this so big it will be read about in history books for many years to come. The only thing that makes sense is for Canada to become our cherished 51st state. This would make all tariffs and everything else totally disappear. We will have the safest and most beautiful nation anywhere in the world, and your brilliant anthem, O Canada, will continue to play, but now representing a great and powerful state within the greatest nation that the world has ever seen.
YouTube has terminated our main channel with millions of views just for telling the truth. But you can help us regrow by just subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and commenting down below. Thank you. Trump's aggressive posturing with Canada represents a dramatic shift in North American relations. His rhetoric about making Canada the 51st state isn't just diplomatically reckless, it's creating real economic consequences as markets respond with significant drops.
Endlessly bragging and lying about how well the stock market did during his first term as president. All of a sudden, the stock market doesn't really matter because we're in a period of transition.
We are in a period of transition from the mess that was created under Joe Biden in the previous administration. Joe Biden left this country in an economic disaster.
The stock market's dramatic decline reveals how uncertainty over Trump's erratic trade policies is rattling investor confidence. While his team attempts to spin this as a planned transition period, the financial reality suggests we're watching economic self-sabotage in real time.
The fact that Trump is intentionally crashing the economy for reasons unknown, and some of them, I have to hand it to them, some of them are getting very creative.
The analogy that's always worked for me is a drug addict, one who perhaps is addicted to heroin. Once they are pulled off that drug, they often struggle for life and sometimes have to take methadone to help them reach a level of health.
Oh, all right, now it makes sense. A nation of drug addicts picked a criminal to run the operation.
The administration's attempt to reframe economic instability as strategic distribution shows how desperate they've become to control the narrative. Comparing the US economy to a recovering heroin addict isn't just bizarre, it signals they have no coherent plan beyond blaming the previous administration.
When history looks back on this time in America, I do believe that it will be Donald Trump and Elon Musk who were reflected as two of the saviors of this country and really of the entire world.
And that's how delusional you have to be to marry Eric Trump.
Johnson's Biller's metaphor inadvertently exposes the administration's approach. Create chaos first, strategize later. This break everything and see what happens governance style might make for dramatic television, but it's a dangerous way to manage the world's largest economy.
Because Trump, as you know, has been a long-time supporter of electric cars.
We are a nation whose leaders are demanding all electric cars, even though they can't go far, cost too much, and whose batteries are produced in China with materials only available in China.
He flip-flops from 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. It's really a thing of beauty.
The irony is impossible to miss. After campaigning relentlessly against electric vehicles, Trump is now staging photo ops with Teslas. This abrupt pivot isn't just hypocritical, it reveals how policy positions are secondary to personal relationships and publicity opportunities in this administration.
What a twist. The guy who spent the entire campaign screaming about how awful electric cars are is now buying an electric car. Of course, there's no chance he will actually pay for this electric car, but why should he when he did a big commercial for them today, absolutely free?
By the way, speaking of Tesla, Tesla is a great company. Thank you all very much. I love Tesla.
Which one did you buy?
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. President.
Which one did you
Mr.
buy?
President, which car are you going to buy?
The one I like is that one.
He loves that Tesla. Tesla rhymes with his daughter's name, Ivanka, you know. Jesus Chrysler, this guy, it's, you know, they probably, I would imagine they probably don't even have a place to charge it at the White. Maybe he'll make little Marco run on a hamster wheel.
The abrupt pivot isn't just hypocritical. It reveals how policy positions are secondary to personal relationships and publicity opportunities in this administration.
Watching Donald Trump check out a Tesla, it was like watching a monkey with an iPad.